Hello, welcome to the Beard Thoughts podcast. I'm Terrell Beard.
I'm Kayla Beard.
Yeah, and right now we're just chilling. We've been having a pretty good conversation. Um, yeah, and I think we're trying to record this on. Right now we're recording on July 17th, but we're recording this because Kayla, your birthday was July 15th.
Yes.
So happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this was supposed to be a birthday podcast. We were both busy on the 15th.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all right. We're here. We're doing it.
We're here now. We're doing it today.
Yeah.
We've been talking about a lot of things.
We have. We've been talking about a lot of things. We've been talking about, I guess, generally spirituality and transcendent experiences of consciousness. And then somehow we shifted to social media and like how social media is poisoning people's self-esteem. And yeah, especially the conversation, especially about young women and Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah, and all of the models or model-esque women, posting pictures of their booties and
Yep.
editing these pictures to exaggerate things that don't necessarily look that way in real life.
A lot of editing. Yeah, and people and then you got millions of teenage girls going home, just scrolling through these screens, judging themselves on these, we saw these other people who have like the perfect body and who are getting tens of thousands of likes, and they're looking at their account and they're like, oh, I only have like 50 likes. I guess I'm not good enough. To be honest, I think people should boycott Instagram. That's my personal opinion. I think Instagram is a particularly toxic social media platform for that reason. And I feel like it provides very little value. Like, there are other ways to interact with friends. There are other ways to share pictures. And
That's
I feel like, huh?
it provides some good value. A lot of people make their livelihood on Instagram. They use
That's true.
business. Some people, their business is based off of Instagram. So I wouldn't say that it serves no value. And I wouldn't even say boycotting it would necessarily be the answer. It would be to boycott the platforms that perpetuate these ideals by, promoting these sorts of images as, desirable. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's weird because you get people who are just promoting themselves, but then you have big brands promoting something like clothing or jewelry or makeup and sharing the same types of pictures,
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I feel like when I said boycott, I wasn't thinking boycott. Because that really is like more of like a type of protest thing to send a message, right? So it will be more of like just if you examine your own personal mental health and what's good for you in your life and what you value, things like that bring to your life, and if it doesn't really bring that much value, just eliminate it because you don't need it. If you're using it for business reasons, because I know a lot of people do. Like, for example, right now, marijuana industry is pretty much all on Instagram, like, because people want to show off their really pretty buds. But yeah, so it can have value for sure. So I shouldn't have said it has no value. But if it doesn't even bring any value to your personal life, you should turn it off. Especially if it's one of the biggest stressors and you're constantly comparing yourself to other people. So
Yeah, I guess I see that like in your personal life, like if it's only a source of stress and sadness and making yourself feel like you're not good
yeah.
enough.
And it's not just Instagram, it's everything else too. Like, I have friends who deleted their Twitter because it's just really toxic to them. And they were just, retweeting all of this shit that was just pissing them off. And, yeah. But, yeah.
But yeah, I should probably delete Facebook for the same reason.
I have been thinking about deleting Facebook for so long. Facebook, like, I want to stay in touch with my friends and family, but, like, if y'all want my number, like, you could just ask for my number. And if you want to text, you can text me, and or call, and we could call or FaceTime or whatever. But like, yeah, Facebook at this point is just a bunch of honestly, it's a bunch of political garbage. Like people express some legitimate political opinions and spread information about some legitimate like movements and for like serious concerns, and that's good. But a lot of what I see, is just a bunch of really stupid straw man memes to get a reaction, or people telling the other people block me if you disagree with this very unnuanced opinion in this meme.
Yeah.
And that's incredibly toxic, and I'm quite sick of it. So you can block me if you want. Doesn't really matter. I might just delete the whole fucking thing because it's all just ridiculous. Not to mention, Mark Zuckerberg is a sociopath. So I don't. Yeah. I don't like Facebook really.
Wow. That may be true. I don't know anything about him.
I don't know if he's a sociopath. That might be far to say. He's definitely a little narcissistic, at least. Like,
At least.
at least.
But again, I don't know this person. I don't like talking about people I don't know personally.
That's true.
I will. I'll do it.
That's true. I guess I'm judging him mostly off of that I think his Senate testimony, because it seems like he doesn't want to take any responsibility for anything that's happening on Facebook. There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of hate groups. There's a lot of misinformation being passed around, and he doesn't want to take any responsibility because it's like, oh, we're not a publisher. It's just other people posting there doing their freedom of speech, and it's like, yeah, but it's because you gave them access to your platform.
To be fair, though, I'm of the mindset, like, should he have to take responsibility? Like, when you're talking about the nature of what Facebook is, it's not the same as like a magazine which carefully curates, the content that they eventually publish.
Mm-hmm.
It really is more like the internet itself, or it's not the internet itself, but it's similar in that the people who are allowed to have access, it's more broad. There are no editors who come in and say, this isn't grammatically accurate, you can't publish that. This isn't, factually correct, so you can't publish that. That's never been the point. The point was always for people to just have a space to publish whatever they want to about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Became a space for people to publish whatever they want about their business or their group, and now people are posting ideas and sharing political information, and we as individuals have created what is now Facebook. Like, we have made it into what it is. He just kind of created the platform and made it public for people to participate without having to pay any money, especially if you don't have to pay any money. There's nothing that says you can't be a racist and have a whole racist hate group on Facebook. There's, that was never outlawed.
No, so I agree with you. I totally agree with you. And it is a lot like the internet, where it's just like the whole point is anyone can just say whatever they want and connect with whomever they want. And if you don't like the person, you just block them, and it's honestly, it's really that simple. But the issue is, like, what if, say, some Russian intelligence person wants to set up a fake account to support Donald Trump and get a lot of people to, be persuaded to vote for Donald Trump, who might have otherwise gone to a different source and would have persuaded to be more, had a little bit more of a reasonable conversation and might not have made that decision, but it was, if it wasn't for all these, Russian bots putting out all these really extreme things. So there's things like that, and to what you were saying, how it's free, you're right. You're not really paying for it in money directly, but you're paying for it indirectly in two ways. One, your time, because a lot of people spend a lot of their time on Facebook just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And the other is your data is being sold and resold and resold, and you're not seeing any money because they're kind of evading taxes, if they're being taxed at all. And they're just making trillions of dollars selling your data to advertisers, who are then making even more money off of you because you're buying their products and seeing their ads everywhere. And you talk to someone about something in a Facebook chat, and then you see the ad about something everywhere else on all of your other browsers and anything that's not connected to Facebook, or you Google something and then you see it on Facebook and you see it on Instagram, and you see it everywhere, because they're just selling your data everywhere. So they can know more about you, so they can sell things to you better. And yeah. So yeah, you are paying for it, just in unseen ways.
Yeah, and not with your money.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Not with your money directly for the service, but again, I would say an unseen.
Yes. Okay. Well, however you want to put it, you're not pulling out of your paycheck once a month.
Yeah.
And that's
but arguably,
it
you can make an argument that might be a little bit better, though. I'm sorry.
Good or bad. I'm just saying that's part of the reason why it has become what it has become. Mm-hmm. All I'm saying is, even when you talk about Russian bots, that sucks, and something should be done about it after the fact. However, is the onus on Mark Zuckerberg to say, "Oh, my bad for letting those Russian bots create a Facebook site"? He just has the platform. He created the platform, but everybody else comes into it and does with it whatever they want. There are people using the platform to schedule or to publish, videos of themselves committing cat murder. There are people doing some shady stuff and posting it on Facebook or live streaming shady stuff. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's why there's so much controversy. But the controversy doesn't come from Mark Zuckerberg being irresponsible. The controversy comes from irresponsible people using a platform that he created. Mm. And so you have to figure. I feel like this is a unique situation because we've never had that before. We don't have platforms like this before. So we're trying to figure out what should the law be about. Everybody can access it equally, and you can all see what's on there, and you can also put anything on there. You're going to have chaos because people are crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that really is just a question of censorship. How much censorship do we want? Because you could have absolute freedom, which is kind of what we have now. But you're right, it's chaos. It's like the Wild West. And I feel like another question is, again, what are the algorithms that are filtering things and selecting things and showing you which notifications? Because you have hundreds and hundreds of friends and they're all doing stuff. You're not seeing what they're all doing. They're filtering out, and I've been inactive on Facebook long enough where at some point it just starts recommending shit to you, like friends you haven't talked to in a while, or maybe friends that you share a few more things in common with than other older friends, and it's just interesting to see the things that it recommends over time, and the less you share, honestly, I feel like, my personal opinion, the less the less outrageous it becomes more docile, at least in my experience. It might be different for other people, but when I actually engage and share things, it becomes way more like politically charged, all of the feeds that get recommended to me. But when I just kind of relax and don't really share or don't really go on that much, the things that get recommended are more like cat videos and like where someone went on their vacation. I feel like that's interesting. Maybe it has something to do with the things that I share that I find interesting, but I don't know.
I was gonna say, you do share a lot of animal videos.
You share a lot of animal videos.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, when I'm active on Facebook, though, like the feeds that get recommended to me tend to over time become more outraged. Yeah. I do share a lot of animal videos.
But
your audio is kind of cutting in and out a little bit, I think.
I don't have a speaker. I'm literally just talking into my laptop, so it's probably something to do with my projection.
Yeah. We're gonna work on our podcast. We got to work on the technical stuff. We got to figure out how to get this website up, because we're working on getting a website, so that's coming soon. Yeah. But yeah.
Subscribers that we have.
How many subscribers we have?
2. Y'all are the best, and
you guys are the best.
We support us.
We do this for you guys.
For
Do
you.
this for you too. Oh man.
What if those two are just us? Like, what if we're literally sitting
Oh,
here?
I would not even be surprised. You know what? It's fine because we're not famous. We don't know a lot of people. I haven't really promoted this anything to anybody because I've been waiting to get that website up.
Yeah. I've not really been promoting
I'm
it.
waiting until we get it a little more official. This is still a little bit of a practice run, but
Still trying to figure stuff out.
yeah.
Great people. I love it there. Oh my God, did I show you? They gave me a cake for my birthday and like a bottle of vodka this big. And I was
Oh,
like, what? Um,
that's pretty
that
nice.
was really nice. Nicest thing coworkers ever done. But anyways,
I got
they're
free weed for my birthday.
what's that?
I got free weed for my birthday.
Yeah, you see,
Yep.
that makes it better.
Have you Trichome OG?
No,
Yeah, it's good shit.
I live in a state where it's illegal, but
Move,
not.
move further west.
Well, they just decriminalized it, and I
Okay.
heard that the mayor is trying to set up a protocol for legalization. But I ain't pressed.
Yeah. I'm thinking about starting to grow my own plants soon. Probably not that many. Probably just like 2 or 3 at most. We're legally allowed to have 12. But I think if you have a med license, it's like double the amount. But yeah, everything's cheaper with a med license. It's like street prices with a med license. But like without it, it's like $50 for an eighth. It's crazy.
Highway robbery.
Highway robbery. It's all right. It's cheaper in California though because they got dispensaries like on every corner, depending on where you are.
But we could edit it out. I mean, we're just on here talking about nothing, anyways. I mean, we're talking about stuff, but
Talk about stuff.
we don't have
Talk
no.
about our thoughts. These are the beer thoughts.
These are some weird thoughts.
Just some random beer thoughts. That'll be the title of this episode: Random Beer Thoughts.
Random weird thoughts. Yes.
I like that title.
What's that?
So I like that title. So honest.
Indeed. I could also put a comment here that people should check out our next video about social media where we get more in depth. We haven't put that one up yet, but it's coming. You should tune into it when we do.
Well, that means this one will be first.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I'm not going to edit this that much.
Oh, cool.
Why?
Why? Oh, I mean, I don't know.
I might cut out, a moment or two, but for the most part,
Just
no.
throw her up there.
I didn't even put on makeup for this one.
Yeah,
Sorry.
just slap that bitch up there. Don't worry about it.
Conversation.
Huh?
I said, sorry, folks, but this is just a regular conversation. They're just going to have to accept it. Or don't watch. I mean, we like you. We want you to watch, but
Yeah. It's all right.
it's,
To be honest, it's Friday at night. Well, I guess it's still light out, but it's like 8:30.
and I'm still high-key celebrating my birthday.
Exactly.
5
It's your birthday.
life. It is. It's a scary time, and there's a lot going on with that. And it's making everybody's lives really unstable. So I don't even, at least I have a job. Like, I try not to complain. But it is frustrating when you don't know how things are going to be from day to day.
Crazy about this thing that I feel like a lot of people kind of I stopped talking about so much. But it's the biggest reason why we take this so seriously. Everyone wants this to end, and we're like, when is this going to end? And quite frankly, this is going to end when we get a vaccine or when enough people get it. But this is going to happen again. It's a matter of time. Whether it's 100 years or 50 years or 20 years, this will happen again. And it will probably be deadlier than this disease. That's just how evolution works. Bacteria and viruses are evolving all the time They're always jumping from species to species because of a random chance mutation. We were kind of about due for another pandemic about this size. You get one like this around every 100 years. We had another one 100 years ago. So, like, something like this is going to happen again. So, unless we're prepared to deal with it, like the way we need to actually properly make sure that we can stop the spread of the disease and, you know, just lose my train of thought. Unless we can do the things that we need to do to flatten the curve and stop the spread of the disease, we all might die, because this is going to happen again.
Yeah.
Could be deadlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking to Mom about that too. Shout out to our mom. But was just talking to her about this because, I went to visit some of our relatives, and one of our aunts was talking about how she thought, the government was lying to us. I don't know if she didn't say the government, but she said they're lying to us. And I was like, I'm not going to argue with nobody about.
Well, they did lie to us.
I feel like we're being lied to too, but like.
Fauci admitted that they lied when they told us not to wear masks because they were worried that they wouldn't have enough masks for them. So they've admitted that they've been lying about some things. Not lying about the virus being real. They're not lying about masks working, or else they wouldn't have tried to save them.
Yeah, she was talking about masks not being necessary.
Yeah, no. They wouldn't have tried to save the masks and tell people not to wear them at first if masks didn't work. They lied initially because they didn't have enough masks. All right? It's because masks work. It's because that's why doctors wear masks. Like, if a doctor was doing your surgery and he didn't have a mask on, I'm sorry. I feel like most people would be like, yo, put a fucking mask on. Like, why aren't you have like, what if you cough? Like, your hands are bloody. You're not gonna cover your mouth. Like put a mask on. Like, it's because masks work. They lied because we didn't have enough of them.
But anyways, regardless of whether or not they lied, I brought that
up. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
A discussion with our mother about, basically my mom was saying that she can understand why someone would feel like we're being lied to, and there's a lot going on. And she mentioned that she was surprised and suspicious because of how long this has been going on. Mm-hmm. And I said, you have to really look at history and how these types of things happen. When a virus hits, it doesn't just terrorize people for a few months and then disappear. Like, it lasts. Like,
not a storm.
Have wiped out human populations in the past still exists. We just
now. The plague is still here.
The plague,
that's still here. People still get that.
Exists. Smallpox. You can still catch that shit. But we now have medical procedures. We have vaccines. We have other treatments and preventative measures. Like with the plague, something as simple as washing your hands can help to prevent that kind of stuff from going around. So we have developed ways of preventing and, treating people who may catch this disease, Mm-hmm. But that's, you need to have experience with it in order for that type of thing to develop. So I was just trying to explain, my thoughts on that. And I feel like a lot of people just don't have a good enough understanding, or they don't necessarily take that perspective of a scientist when they think about this. They're just like, oh, we're being lied to. Oh, it can't be that many people. Oh, how come, masks do, why do we need to wear that?
Yeah.
Instead of just listening and trying to understand, like, this is a process. When something is new, people might get it wrong and then have to come back and say, we were wrong, and here's what we know now. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can't trust somebody, or that the information is incorrect, or that it's 100% correct. You really have to be very, discerning.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of examples of people who, like, at first were all just like, man, this is just a hoax. Government is just trying to hide us. They're just trying to control us and keep us inside. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm going out. And then they get sick and they're like, yep, it's COVID. and they're like, "Fuck, man, I can't breathe, man. Like, I gotta be on the ventilator. This shit sucks, man. This COVID shit's not. It's no joke." And some of those people die; they don't recover. And so, like, all you gotta do is get sick or have a family member get sick. Like, didn't one of our uncles get tested for COVID
Yeah.
and get tested? It was positive for COVID.
Yeah.
Like in that same city where our aunt lives. Like,
Well, this aunt said that she does not believe that he had COVID. She
oh,
was sick with something, but it probably wasn't COVID because she just doesn't believe that,
COVID exists.
the governments she says she believes that it exists, but she doesn't think it's being accurately reported, which she did have a point about,
Does have a point.
certain people, people will die of complications
Mm-hmm.
related to some disease that they've had for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And if they tested positive for COVID, then it will be reported as a death.
Yeah, you're right.
So
that's an issue.
Issue with that, like that shouldn't be happening.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that COVID wasn't related to the reason why they died from this other complication that they could have.
Even if COVID wasn't the thing that killed him, like I heard of one case where this guy had liver cancer and he was dying of liver cancer for a while. And he had already been told many times that, like, dude, you got like 6 weeks. And so he was gonna die anyway. And then while he was in the hospital, like a few weeks before he died or whatever, like, he got tested, was positive for COVID, and they marked it as COVID death, But like he was already dying because his liver was not working. Mm-hmm. So I don't really think he died because of COVID. Even if it might have made things worse, but like he was already dying. He should have been dead already. So that's definitely an issue. But like my thing is, he still probably got COVID. like the test probably still worked. COVID didn't kill him, but he still probably got it. And so like
kind of take that mindset of you have to take the perspective that scientists take when they look at like, okay, he had, this person, caught COVID and it made them really ill. This person died and they had tested positive for COVID. But all we're really seeing is these are the people who are catching it and this is how it's affecting them.
Exactly.
And, then you can parse out, okay, well, how much does it affect somebody who doesn't have that kind of, underlying illness, or somebody who isn't, on their way to dying already,
Mm-hmm.
How does it affect different types of people? But that's still no reason to, distrust simple things like wash your hands and wear a mask in public. Like those are the types of things that
are
effective with any other virus.
Common sense, honestly. Yeah.
Susceptible to the flu and you really don't want to get sick, you'll be advised to wear a mask in public so that you're less likely to catch it. That's not a novel idea. It's just a suggestion that people should, and for some reason are just unwilling to take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm thinking about the masks. I remember listening to arguments for why they were saying that people shouldn't wear masks. And it's because, like, because you wear a mask, but then you still touch everything, and then you touch your phone, and later on you pull the mask, maybe you wash your hands, blah, blah, blah. And, that kind of makes sense, if you think about it. But, like, I feel like, even intuitively, like, something didn't sound right to me. I was like, I don't know, like, I felt like I needed to wear a mask. Like, I wanted to agree with what they were telling me. But, like, because at that time, I was still working at MSU, and so I would it wasn't school, I was working, but I'd go into work, and I'd be walking around the lab and doing stuff. And occasionally I hear people talking about how they wanted to wear masks, and occasionally I'd see people wearing masks and stuff. And I would just feel like, if it's passed through the air, wouldn't you want to put something over your face? Like, doesn't that at least reduce the chances? Like, yeah, you're still touching stuff. Yeah, you got to wash your hands. Yeah, you can't get close to people. Yeah, if you're in an enclosed space sharing the same air with somebody, like, that's not going to stop things over time. But, like, it reduces the odds if you're just walking around and you got to go to the store or something. Like, that just kind of intuitively makes sense,
Yeah.
That's why you cover your mouth when you cough, because you block the stuff from going everywhere. You don't just cough in the air like, I don't believe it's gonna. Doesn't matter. It's still getting places. Like, no, you cover yourself.
And also, like, things like, you touch things, so you got to wash your hands, or you touch your phone and your phone is dirty. Like, You could be sanitizing your phone on a regular basis.
Exactly. That's a good point. They also tell you to wash your hands, don't touch your face, and sanitize your phone.
You should be doing that anyways. Like that's another thing that our aunt was saying just the other day. Like people should already be washing their hands and taking care of their personal hygiene. You should already be taking care of your body and strengthening your immune system. Like these are not
right.
The, specialty things that we do during this time. Like the mask thing, that's a specialty thing that we're doing during this time. But like taking care of yourself, being healthy, personal.
And when people don't wash their hands when they pee.
Yes, like what is wrong? Like who raised you? I'm sorry, but like who did?
Lie. Sometimes when I'm home, I slack when I do that. I'm just at home by myself.
Shame.
I don't care.
Shame.
All you want. I ain't got no visitors coming here. Don't nobody come to my house. It's just me and my dog. And so
now I know not to go in your house.
No, but some people don't even do that when they go to public bathrooms. I'm like, I can't even stand in a public bathroom without wanting to wash my hands. Like,
because they're gross.
I know. I don't want to breathe the air.
To wash our hands. Yeah.
I want to wear a mask just to use a public bathroom. Like,
sometimes I be going around and I'm wearing this mask and I'm like, okay, in this circumstance, I'm like really glad to have on a mask because it stinks or because it's like dirty and it's like, this is good.
The worst is like the truck stop restroom, the diner on the side of the highway.
Does anybody clean it?
Oh, occasionally.
Probably.
I don't know how often.
Somebody gets paid to, but
listen, that person gets paid probably not the best to stand there mostly by themselves probably all day, every day, and mostly see truckers. They're probably not cleaning that bathroom that often.
Probably. Yeah. But yeah, I really this experience has opened my eyes up to how much I don't wash my hands as often as I should. Like I wash my hands a lot already before all of this, but this made me realize, yeah, I should wash my hands when I first come in the house because I just was touching all this stuff outside. I should wash my hands, even before I eat a snack, that I might not otherwise wash my hands to eat an apple. But like if I've been moping around the house and then I go to pick up an apple now, I'm like, oh, I gotta wash my hands because I'm gonna eat this. My phone. Nope. How many people sanitize their phone? Hopefully everybody all the time. Those things are disgusting. I have had to start using Lysol wipes on a regular basis. I use Lysol spray. I just read an article the other day that was it the CDC or some other department had confirmed that Lysol can kill coronavirus on surfaces.
It was 99.9% of viruses.
Lysol and or Lysol adjacent products, and do your best to make sure things stay clean, which is probably what people have been doing anyways.
You want to know why that's true? It's literally just a little simple thing. Let me just make sure before I. Yeah, I think it's just. Well, Lysol is more specific. It's more like ammonium, so that's more of a specific killer. But it's just things like ammonium or alcohol, just chemicals that kill things. So alcohol works the same. Use like at least 60% alcohol, it'll kill anything basically.
That's what I've been figuring. I wasn't surprised when I read that, and I was like, that's kind of playing up to the brand to name them specifically when you could just say that this active ingredient is what kills the germ.
Buy rubbing alcohol. It's like $1 at mine. Yeah. Spray it on everything. Yeah.
You could, and it would help to disinfect.
I used to kill ticks. If I ever find a tick on my dog, I drop it in some alcohol. I mean, you could just crush it, but it's like, when I was working at the Kellogg Biological Station, there were like biologists there that like, oh, we want to collect the ticks so we can send them into the lab and get them tested for Lyme disease. So because they want to track the ticks in Michigan because it's been spreading from like the East Coast across the country, and it's been spreading in Michigan. So they're trying to track it. So
you keep it intact by dipping it in the alcohol.
Yeah, and then I just kind of got into the habit of doing it because it's fun. Am I a psychopath for that?
A little bit, yeah. Oh, it's fun to kill these
it's fun to do it to ticks. I don't do that to everything. I'm not just killing things for fun. But like
You are,
I
but
hate ticks. I hate ticks almost as much as I hate bed bugs. They're
that's
very similar. They're disgusting little fucking vermin. I found a big one on my dog one because I missed it. Like, and it was just like it already absorbed some of the like a lot of blood, and it was big and juicy. And I had to pull it off of her, and it's just
so.
it's
This has been a
gross.
great conversation.
It has
I think
been. Oh man,
we're talking about tits. Oh Lord.
those vermin from hell. Jesus.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay.
I've gone on for a while. Maybe it's time to say goodbye.
Call it quits. Say goodbye. Well, thanks for indulging our thoughts. These really random conversation, but it was a fun one. Wish we had hit record sooner. To be honest, we were talking about some interesting
Yeah,
stuff.
we were talking about some cool stuff, but it's good to just give the people just a little tad, little tidbit of our nonsense.
Yeah. Well, thanks again. Thank you to our 2 subscribers. Let's try to double that.
Yeah.
We can do it. Let's do it, guys. Well, we do this for you, but we also do it for us, because we just like having these conversations, as you can tell.
Always a great time.
Anyway, happy birthday, Kayla.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you to anyone who wished me a happy birthday. And happy birthday to all the others who have birthdays. Our grandmother, Sarah.
Happy birthday.
I don't know if I should have name dropped her, but our grandma had a birthday recently. Our cousin has a birthday. Maybe I should say her name, Lauren. I don't know if people want to be named. Whatever. All you beautiful birthday people who are out there.
If you are watching this right now, it's our
family. July babies. Big strong.
July babies. I'm a June baby. My birthday just passed. All right, guys. This has been fun. See you next time.